Behold, I have discovered the fountain of youth. Hello, my name is Kevin Garcia, and today I will be discussing intermittent fasting. Okay, maybe it's not the fountain of youth, but what if I told you that you could live a longer and healthier life just by changing the times you eat? According to Melanie Hiron, a statistician of the National Center for Health Statistics, she is quoted saying, "Heart disease has consistently been the leading cause of death in the United States and remains so." Now, what if I told you simply by changing the times you eat your food can help you burn stubborn body fat, increase organ health, and also prevent you from getting certain diseases? But what if I told you that you can do all these things all while eating the same foods you already eat? Everyone wants to be healthier and look good without the hassle of wasting time in the gym and counting calories. With the number one killer of Americans in the 21st century is heart disease, it's no wonder there are so many endless diets available. A large part of this disease is due to the quality of food we eat. Processed foods that are high in sodium and fats are easier and cheaper to get compared to more nutrition-based food. Today we'll be learning about the history of fasting, the science and medical advantages of intermittent fasting, and of course the benefits. Now, in order to understand how a fast works, first let's dive into the history of fasting. Fasting has been around for thousands of years, since the time of the first hunter-gatherers. Our bodies are made to function for long periods of time without food. This is because our bodies store fats and proteins from the foods we eat. These stored carbs are energies that our body used to perform everyday activities. This helped our ancestors while hunting for hours or days to find their next meal. Without stored energy, the time frame between meals would have been limited, therefore reducing the chances of survival. In society today, access to food and food suppliers are much simpler. You can even order your next meal and have it delivered straight to your home. Overeating, or caloric surplus, is not uncommon in society. This leads to cardiovascular disease, obesity, and diabetes. The history of fasting is important in understanding why our bodies are designed for this time-restricted diet. Now let's investigate the proper ways to fast for the everyday person. Intermittent fasting is an eating pattern where you cycle between periods of eating and fasting. It does not say anything about which foods to eat, but rather when you should eat them. A fast is essentially a time-restricted form of eating. During a fast, only water and non-caloric drinks, such as black coffee, natural teas, are allowed to be consumed. This is because these drinks are fat-free and do not affect insulin levels. Now, once you intake calories, you essentially break your fast. There are different ways to approach a fast. The most common method of fasting is the 16-8 method. This is known to be the simplest, most suitable fast to stick to. This means in a 24-hour period, 8 hours are designed for consuming your calories, and the other 16 is the fasting period. Although it may seem like an impossible routine, especially for those that are consistently snacking, the 16-hour fast is easier than you may think. So say you sleep at 10 p.m. and usually wake up at 6 a.m. Our bodies naturally metabolize the food that was eaten during the day while we sleep. That's already been 8 hours out of the way. Now, by eating your last meal at 6 and restricting from eating until 12, you've successfully completed a 16-hour fast. Now that you understand the history of fasting and what a fast is, let's take a look into the medical and science behind fasting. By removing foods, it gives our body's digestive system a break. Fasting allows the gut to cleanse and strengthen our lining and our organs by absorbing fats surrounded by the organs. Our bodies use glucose and carbohydrates as energy, and when we don't have food, our bodies turn to fat as its main source of energy. In 1 pound of fat, we have about 36 calories of stored energy. So when our stomachs are empty, we're essentially using our body's stored fat as fuel for the day. Dr. Mohammed Abin Deltif of the Department of Cardiology, Medical University of Graz, is quoted saying, "It is believed that caloric restriction does so through steering through maintenance via activating several defenses and repair process that improve homeostasis, stress resistance, and quality control of damaged cells." Now in this quote, Dr. Mahal explains how the cells in our body use stored fats to not only replenish but also replace themselves. Cell self-regeneration is key to our body's organ health. Now that we understand the medical and scientific side of fasting, let's now look at how it affects the body as a whole. Now, 12 hours into fasting, your body enters into a metabolic state known as ketosis. In this state, your body starts to break down and burn fat. The fat is used as an alternate energy source for the cells of your heart, skeletal muscle, and brain when glucose isn't readily available. By 18 hours, you switch to a fat burning mode and it generates significant ketones. You can also accelerate ketone production with some heart pumping exercise. In fact, intermittent fasting combined with running cause rewiring of nerve cells in the brain, which leads to improved learning and memory. Within 24 hours, your cells are increasingly recycling old components and breaking down damaged proteins linked to Alzheimer's and other diseases such as heart disease. Now let's look at how a fast can help with subjects that have a history of diabetes. Dr. Krista Varady, professor of nutrition at the University of Illinois, is quoted saying, "These regimens, or fasting, may benefit cardiometabolic health by decreasing blood pressure, insulin resistance, and oxidative stress." Dr. Brady investigates the natural insulin that is released by the body during a fast and notes that these levels are lowered naturally. So I'll let you know the history, the medical and science, and the benefits of fasting. This can prepare you for a healthier and longer quality of life. Today we examine how to fast, what happens to your body when you fast, and the long-term effects simple fasting can have on your body. By engaging in intermittent fasting, it reduces your chances of developing heart disease and Alzheimer's. It also helps you burn stubborn body fat without supplements or over-the-counter drugs, and can improve learning and memory. So although this may not be the real fountain of youth, by fasting regularly, you can eliminate harmful diseases and live a longer and fuller life. Thank you.